What's going on, YouTube? I am going to tell you my 100% unfiltered story when it comes to dealing with commercial cleaning franchises, mainly Janpro. In 2015, I quit my job and I joined a franchise. I joined Janpro. One of the things that always stood out was, well, my wife now, girlfriend at the time, I was telling her, like, hey, this is what I'm about to do. I'm about to do this. And we were looking at the paperwork, and it never really, now that I think back about it, the thing that she brought up never really quite set right with her was the amount of fees that I was going to have to pay. Now I was like, nah, it's okay. This is just a franchise model. This is what it is. She's like, oh, okay, well, if that's what you want to do, but the fees, I quit my job. I invest a decent amount of money. I invested almost $10,000 into this franchise, and it was quite the experience, man. So the main thing once I'm in, right, and I'm working inside of this franchise, and I am now getting accounts, I start to see, like, I'm feeling those fees now. Like all of the fees that we were just talking about, like, I'm really starting to feel them. I'm paying a maintenance fee, a royalty fee. Every account that I get, there's a percentage of that gross amount that gets totaled up and goes to my insurance, which that never felt right with me. Like, wait a minute, like, I already have insurance. Shouldn't my insurance be a flat fee? But for every percentage, you got to pay something towards insurance. And then here's the other thing too, right? Because you don't, and the franchise, it banks on the franchisees not knowing anything or very little about the business. If you are in a franchise right now, and what I just said resonates with you in any way, shape, or form, hit the like button. I'm gonna say it again. The franchise, it banks, it feasts on its franchisees knowing very little about the business. Quick example, right? When I joined the franchise, they had a little section. There was a little room. And in that room, they had, like, the local products. There was nothing special about these products except for they were there and they were convenient. Now, what they're going to do is, or what they did was, charge a convenience fee. They say, hey, everything's right here, all you need. And when you question the price, like, wait a minute, don't worry, we only mark it up 20%. It's not that much, and we won't even take it out of you don't got to pay us right now. We'll just take it out on the first when we cut your check. Don't worry about it. So they make it so fluid and so easy. That's when I'll give it to them for that. And people would go in and just get the stuff, right? You get your receipts and you go in and do the same stuff you can buy on Amazon or at a local vendor for way cheaper. But they were getting it and then marking the prices up. So that was that. And I didn't know anything about the business, so I really didn't know. I didn't know no better, just like everyone else. I bought into the business. I have a book of business, and that's all I get. If I want to get more business, I have to pay more money, or I have to do what they call a sweat equity. They'll give me an account, and then I got to work it, and then they'll take their percentage out over the course of like 12 months or 18 months, something like that. I don't remember exactly what the time frame was anymore. I don't remember. But yeah, that's what they would do. So I'm in the account, I'm working, and I was in for maybe about a year or so before I lost my first account. Now, when I lost my account, I told the franchisor that what the situation was. I told him, hey, So I'll explain, right, for context. I'm working on an account. It's a day porter job. I don't have any employees at this time. It's just me and my wife. My wife would come in and help. So it was really just us, right? And I'm thankful for that because she did help. It was just us. So I'm working in this account. The operations manager didn't want to get a bigger trash can, right? This is a warehouse building. I guess they were being charged, so much money because if the garbage can can't fully close, they'll still take the trash, but they're going to charge you a little bit more money. So the operations manager, she was like, hey, Marcus, can you just go out there and after you put the trash can in, close it as much as you can, but then get up there and kind of step on it to step the trash down. I told her, no, I'm not doing that. First of all, I'm not jumping on nobody's damn trash can. I'm not getting in there. I'm not doing none of that. Second, my insurance, I can't imagine me trying to put a claim in to my insurance and they ask me, okay, well, what happened? Oh, well, I got on top of the trash. It's like, sir, we don't cover you to do that. That's not gonna happen. So I told her no. Damn, I'm ashy. So anyways, about a month or so goes on and she is talking to the franchise and just okay, we're just gonna replace him. So they get me kicked out, right? And that's like $1,200-$1,300 that I lose. In the franchise world, losing an account means you not only do you lose that monthly revenue, but you lose whatever investment you paid to get that monthly revenue. So you're taking a hit on two ends. So I lose the account, right? So now I got to double back with them. They got to find me a new account, and I was just kind of like this waiting game. But in the time frame of that happening and me being able to even have a discussion on getting another account, the franchisor, he ended up selling it to another guy, right? So he sold it to another guy. And the new guy comes in. He's like, hey, Marcus, I have been hearing you're pretty ambitious and you want to grow your company and this, that, and third, da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, I really want to grow. He's like, good, we have that in common. I want to grow this company too. I feel like there's a huge upside. And he's just giving me this whole spiel, right? Time goes on and I bring up the conversation again, maybe 4 or 5 months later, hey, what's going on with these accounts? He's like, well, things are kind of rough right now. And what do you need? You want just an extra 30,000? I'm like, hell yeah, I need an extra 30,000 for the year. That'll be all right for now. We can start there. I don't hear from him again. For another 3 or 4 months. But here's the thing. Within that 3 or 4 month period, I learned the business. I really sat down and dove in and learned all the things that I didn't know, to where the point where when it was time for him to offer me anything, and he never did, by the way. He never offered me those that 30,000. He never came through with it. But by that time, I'd already figured out how to I know how to do it now, right? And I looked at it now, knowing what I know now, looking at it back then, I take that 30,000 as almost like a slap in the face. And here's why. So recently, I changed my whole business model. I no longer work with W4 employees. I may end up hiring one here in the future, depending on what happens in the next couple of weeks. But for the most part, I only work with subcontractors. I met with a subcontracting company. I met with a company that's now subcontracts for us, maybe about 2 months ago. Initially, we couldn't have a sit-down face-to-face conversation just because of timing reasons. They were in and out of town, and I left town for a couple of days. We really couldn't do it. So within the last month, we finally did get a chance to sit down. I gave them a couple of accounts. I seen the way they work. They work really, really good, and they're efficient in what they're doing. They have a lot of staff that they need to put into accounts to keep their business growing, and to keep the staff satisfied. So that let me know, okay, this is a company that I can really pour into. So within the month time frame, I added another almost $60,000 to their gross, just based on the accounts that I'm able to get and accumulate. And if things move forward, that company will be, they will get, aside from what they're doing on their own, I'll have them at $100,000 before September. Things keep moving the way that they're going. So I'm looking at what I'm able to do for a company who we just met, but they proved themselves in terms of they know how to go in and clean, and they know how to They just don't know how to acquire new customers. A company that I just met versus what Janpro told me, and I'm someone who invested thousands of dollars within that organization. I invested thousands of dollars, and it was like, yo, 30,000, I can't get 30,000. I'm not asking for money. Like, I need the accounts so that, you know, we can keep growing. I just looked at it like it was a slap in the face. So, you know, with that said, I would strongly encourage anyone who is thinking about joining Janpro or joining any franchise to really look at what it is that you're doing. Look at all of the numbers, make sure everything makes sense. And again, they're not a scam. They're going to tell you exactly what they're going to do. It's going to be in black and white. It's up for you to be able to look at, understand, and interpret what it is that you're about to sign. They're not a scam, but is it the most lucrative way to start and grow a commercial cleaning company? I don't think so. And there are a lot of people who would agree with me. But I would encourage you just to know really what it is that you're signing. Know that there's a better way out there. There's better options. You know, when I first started in 2015, there wasn't any classes, there wasn't any courses, there was very few mentorships. There wasn't as many people on YouTube talking about growing their company, how to start it didn't exist. It didn't exist. So there's options out there for you now. Like I have, and I don't even know, like I said, like I may end up taking down my coaching and consultation because I'm so focused on what it is that I'm trying to do. There will be a course that I will create eventually, but I need to be able to make my first million first. Like I have to make my first million annually within this business before I feel like I have the time to dedicate to putting together a course, right? And I'm thinking I'll probably, I don't want to put a number on it, but I think we'll be there soon. We'll be there in a relatively short amount of time. But guys, it is there's so much more. Like I may make a part 2. I will probably make a part 2 to this video to go further in depth on my on my experience with Janpro. But all I'm gonna say is I hope you better watch those numbers, man. Watch those numbers and watch what you're being charged. Well, guys, like I say, I am always dropping jewels. Just make sure that you're in position to pick them up. And the only way that you are going to be in position is if you like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Marcus Crockett. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.